Do not rely on crypto because it's not going to be there next year. I've called every crypto crash of significance.
Yeah, bullshit, mate. You wouldn't be making videos right here if you caught every single crash and you're absolutely a billionaire by now. History repeats itself in crypto. Certainly does. However, there is a bit of a trap when it comes to relying on these exact same pictures.
My long-term forecast is it's going to go to 13 million over 21 years.
13 million.
13 million. But what is it 5 years from now? You're in your 4-year calculus.
You know, it's been...
Look at Saylor's body language there. He doesn't really like these price predictions. It's not the best way to do things. All right, guys, welcome back to the reactions arena. Today, we're going to be going through some of the trending videos that are out there on social media. Some of the messages are really good and really strong. Others, you don't want to get sucked into. Let's get straight into some of these reactions. History repeats itself in crypto. It certainly does. In this video, we can basically see 2020 chart compared to the 2026 chart. And what it's referring to here is the technical analysis kind of pattern is very, very similar. And this is true across all markets. All markets have market structure to it. However, there is a bit of a trap when it comes to relying on these exact same pictures. There's always a little bit of variance in between it, and there's always different times that these things happen. So don't think that you can just see a little technical pattern happening and then expect, yep, it's a guaranteed, but definitely you can use it to understand what part of this cycle we may be up to. A really good example of this is at the start of this bull cycle. What we actually saw happen was we went into a super cycle and crypto went from as low as about 15,000 up to the 40,000 to 100,000 incredibly quickly. It fast tracked anyone's expectations of what would happen. And people then thought that based on the last cycle, we were going to get up to 250 to 500,000. Those were some of the projections being thrown out. However, the top of it was actually 120,000. And then we started coming crashing down. Now, right now, we are seeing the market looking a little bit similar to the last cycle with a clear peak and a clear down, but it's not going to be the only thing you can rely on to get good positions in the market. So just make sure you're not using this and this only. You want to be making sure you're using confluence, some technical analysis, some fundamental analysis, and overall positioning yourself in the market more than just what a picture-to-picture looks like.
Do not rely on crypto because it's not going to be there next year. I've called every crypto crash of significance in the past.
I've caught every crypto crash of significance. Yeah, bullshit, mate. You wouldn't be making videos right here if you caught every single crash and you're absolutely a billionaire by now. But anyway, what he's basically saying here is don't get caught out. Let's watch a little bit.
I'm telling you right now, 2026, buy Bitcoin, buy cryptocurrency. You're looking at not 50, not 60, but possible 80 to 90% losses. You really want a piece of that?
Bit of a contradictory video. Do not rely on crypto because it's not going to be there. I've caught every single crash. I've saved someone $100 million. Look, essentially, the only thing I like about what this fella is saying is that you should be buying in 2026. I do agree with that. Bitcoin is on an absolute massive discount right now. And history says that if we draw down 70%, you actually have a 100% success rate of investing at that low and being profitable in 1 year. So don't get sucked into these gurus that are calling it. They're like it's an absolute sure thing and this is the bottom, this is the top. That's not how it works. You need to position yourself over time. But overall, yes, be able to identify when things are on a discount and when we are in a market crash and when there's opportunity there. 2025, 2035. 10 mil, baby. Let's go. Oh, no, don't do it. Don't tell me your prediction. Ah, no. Oh, I hate it. I probably should overreact to the other predictions as well. Although I think he had 10 million for Bitcoin. I honestly think it's possible by, I think it was 2035. Is that what he's saying in this video? But yeah, look, these bloody price predictions. I'm not a fan of it. We're always about positioning yourself in the market. Investing is not something that you can look forward really that far. You can have a long-term projection and a reason why you're exposed to an asset, such as Bitcoin. In the long term, I want to be exposed to it because it's a store of value asset. It has limited supply. So over time, as long as it keeps being seen and having value, then I want to be exposed to that asset. But yeah, these price predictions of, like go and do the maths on what market cap that would have and how big the asset would be as an asset compared to all assets in the world. I'm not liking some of these price predictions. One thing I will add though is I don't actually mind the coins that are being predicted on here other than ADA. Chuck that one in the bin. Everything else, I think, is actually an all right mix to have in your portfolio. Just quickly, if you're ready to take your results to the next level, my team at Imperial Wealth Crypto can help. Inside our Crypto Academy, you'll get access to my personal portfolio, strategies, real-time market insights, and the exact plays my team and I use to stay ahead. With our team of analysts monitoring the markets 24/7, we've helped investors catch moves like a coin that's done a 5x in 4 days. If you're serious about accelerating your wealth, click the link below to book in a call with my team of experts and see how we can help. Now, back to the episode.
If you look at a 5-10-year horizon, it's very easy to predict. We're going to go up. If you look at a 1-year horizon, which is like what the most common framework is, 2026, I have very strong feelings that it will probably be a super cycle.
Be a super cycle?
2026, yeah.
For Bitcoin?
For Bitcoin.
I'm not 100% sure.
Well, normally Bitcoin follows 4-year cycles historically. If you look at historic data, like every 4 years, there's an all-time high and then there's a drop. But I think this year, given the US being so pro-crypto and every other country is kind of following, I do think we will probably break the 4-year cycle. Yeah.
All right. So this is a massive debated topic right now. I'm really not 100% sure about this whole super cycle, that we're going to break the cycle and we're actually just going to go up and up and up from here and re-enter. I do think, already from the peak of last year to it would be July is around the time of what it takes previous bear markets, like around a year, for it to crash. And we're looking on that trajectory right now. So I feel like we actually are going to see some negative price action. Bitcoin's currently sitting at the 60 to 70,000. I think it's possible we may get into that kind of 40,000 as lowest, but probably more around the 54 to 58K territory. And then I think we recover out of that, which would be similar to other cycles. However, I can see the argument, if we can hold this level and things really, like we might see interest rates start to drop heavily and some macro environment start really improving and being bullish, then I can see cryptocurrency following suit and going into this super cycle territory, and we actually might see an all-time high. But position yourself as if it's the lows. Take advantage of the lows we're at right now. That's the main message, is positioning yourself when things are at discount.
You buy Bitcoin, you hold it for more than 4 years, Joe. That's my advice to everybody.
Keep it simple.
Hold it for more than 4 years. And then you think eventually it takes how much, let's say it is digital gold, what percentage of gold's market cap does
Listen to this man.
Bitcoin's 0.1% of the capital in the world right now. I think it's going to go to 7% of the capital.
7%.
My long-term forecast is it's going to go to 13 million over 21 years.
13 million.
13 million. But what is it 5 years from now? You're in your 4-year calculus.
It's been...
Look at Saylor's body language there. He doesn't really like these price predictions. Of course he has to say he's the forefront, if not the leading, I suppose, analyst or hedge fund investor into Bitcoin right now. So he has to give these answers and show hope, but it's not the best way to do things. All he cares about is being positioned in the market. He doesn't care. He knows in the long term it's going up. That's all that matters to him.
Growing 44% a year with about a 40 to 50 vol. I would think it'll move on at 40%, then click down to 35, then 30, then 25, and at some point it'll be the S&P return plus 8%, and it'll be the S&P vol plus 8% because it's
What he's basically saying here is that when new technology comes out, it is hyperbolic. That's how the chart looks. It goes up and up and up, but over time it starts kind of flattening out as the technology becomes more and more adopted. So at the moment, I think Saylor says we're at about 40 to 70%, depending on how you do the calculations. And so he's basically saying over time, yes, that will reduce and reduce.
always going to be a more global, open, free capital market. Bitcoin's an expression in this view that you want to invest in an asset without counterparty risk, which means you don't want to be counterparty to a country, a currency, a city, a company, a commodity.
I want to bring it back to the most important part. And honestly, this is something that all of these videos I've said time and time again. It's all about positioning yourself. Do not get sucked into the price prediction of Bitcoin's going to 13 million and be that the reason that you're investing into it. Because after 1, 2, 3, 4 years that Michael Saylor says, if you hold it for that long, then you're going to be in profit. If it's not at the expected levels, then you may sell out too early. Okay. So don't have over bullish expectations of what price is going to be. Understand that you're positioning yourself in an asset that over time is looking like it's outperforming other assets out there. The common theme through all of the videos that I watched in this series of episodes is positioning yourself in the market. Don't get sucked into price predictions. Don't get sucked into things that are just not important to the actual investment that you're getting into. Make sure you understand, why am I getting into this? Is it a long-term investment or is it a short-term investment? Thanks for tuning in to Crypto Coach Will. If you got value from today's episode, then make sure to subscribe so you never miss the latest tips to navigate the crypto market. If you're ready to take crypto investing to the next level, check out the links below where you can book in a call with my team of experts. We place strong emphasis on educating before investing in the market, so take advantage of the knowledge they have to share. Don't forget to follow us on socials @CryptoCoachWill, and I'll catch you in the next episode.